you have. I was also recognized with a Special Achievement Award by the Department of Justice. You remember the Department of Justice, right? It's the agency that's been pursuing you for decades. And like Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, I've had a history of prosecuting sex offenders. So thank you for keeping people like us in business. And as for dumb questions, you're always welcome to come here and answer some, if sitting so close to a prosecutor.
The self-described voice of reason, Bill Maher, and Sunny Hostin engaged in a furious fight on The View that was more than just a discussion. It was a takedown. The audience was left stunned as the panel tried to find something to say. From characterizing woke to pointing out contradictions in progressive narratives, Maher provided a masterclass in dissecting arguments with wit, reason, and unflinching honesty. Let's begin.
In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and baptized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want, because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the...
Hostin insisted that conservatives have now seized the term woke to sow division, despite the fact that it was first used as a call to consciousness within the Black community. However, Maher refused to let her control the narrative. With his usual calmness, he explained how language evolves over time and pointed out that being woke has come to be seen as an indication of intellectual radicalism. It's not about the original meaning, Maher said. It's about what it represents now: suppression of dissent, conformity, and cancel culture. When he shifted the conversation from semantics to the broader implications of modern progressivism, the audience cheered. Hostin tried to object, but it was hard to dispute Maher's clarity.
Don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews. Yeah. Okay? That was a joke.
Too dark, too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for an organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick. Well, I mean, it's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has...
Hostin attempted to trap Maher by suggesting that his comments aligned with conservative ideas, but he was unmoved. Instead, he reversed the situation using humor and logic. He grinned and said, "The problem isn't the word, Sunny, but what it has turned into." He underlined how even liberal conservatives like himself had been estranged from woke culture's preference for outrage over debate. He continued by saying that the left used to advocate open communication and free speech. Nowadays, the emphasis is on shutting someone down for saying the wrong thing. When Maher pointed out the contradictions in Hostin's logic, the audience's applause grew louder.
No, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from violence, freedom from harassment.
The LGBTQ community.
Yes. You that too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world, where women are second-class citizens.
In spite of Hamas's oppressive policies toward women and minorities, many activists still back the group. Even before the war, if you support Hamas, try living in Gaza for a day, Maher said. He called attention to the reality that many activists who claim to be woke fail to address basic human rights violations in the very areas they claim to support. The panel was taken aback when Maher exposed the absurdity of endorsing groups that publicly oppose progressive ideologies.
The innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but they were and they're defending themselves. Now, this is
When the discussion started to criticize Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, Maher cut it short. He dismissed the move as a ruse to deflect criticism away from Hamas's declared goal of eradicating the Jewish people. He declared unequivocally, "This is war," citing Hamas's open promise to destroy Israel. His unapologetic attitude gave Hostin little opportunity to respond, forcing her to go on the defensive.
Yes.
So how can we get out with a ceasefire?
All right, so Hamas needs to be because they are this organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said we did this. They've hit Israel 5 times. They've started 5 since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community and they spent it on.
He claimed that narrative always wins out over reality and chastised both sides for emphasizing some facts over others. However, he reserved his most severe criticism for progressive media outlets that prioritize outrage over facts. Viewers who are becoming tired of biased news resonated with his remarks.
So if they need to be how do we do that? I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli, of course everybody is, but that's what happens here's a way to stop that. Stop it.
Biden just comes across as old, Maher remarked, drawing comparisons to Trump, and joking that he resembles a corpse. The audience erupted in laughter as he argued that perception often wins out over politics and policy. Maher praised Biden's accomplishments, but said that his age and demeanor would eventually hurt the Democrats.
Nothing. Yeah. And it's narrative over truth. I mean, it's not like when I hear people talk on either side of it, I always think they're lying. They're just telling me half of it. And I never trust them anywhere.
They chastised individuals who romanticize homelessness instead of addressing its root causes, joking that some people see homeless individuals as an endangered species living their best lives under a bridge. His point was emphasized by the audience's laughter and applause. Maher's critique highlighted how leftist projects sometimes prioritize virtue signaling over practical solutions.
Myself as old school conservative, there's still some of those
You've
left.
changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Well, that's what I was trying to find out in this book. I don't think I have. And we were saying in the break, we have to come up with a new word for woke. Let's have a contest because this is a word that's triggering. But I mean, those concepts that are different than they were 5 years ago.
With every point Maher made, the audience's applause grew louder, showing that they agreed with him or, at the very least, respected his ability to explain complex topics in an understandable manner.
That I thought we kind of came up with because people were calling them bums and vagrants and hobos. Homeless. No.
It's unhoused.
Well, it's people experiencing homelessness. But they're experiencing it on the street. Okay, the liberal view of that was for compassion's sake. We're the liberals. We're compassion. Let's get these people off the street. That's not the view of the whatever word we're going to come up with for this. Their view of the homeless is they're an endangered species that needs to be protected in their natural habitat, living their best.
Many onlookers praised his ability to dismantle woke arguments while remaining calm and humorous. One analyst even went so far as to refer to it as a masterclass rather than just a disagreement. Others pointed out how rare it is to witness someone openly challenge progressive cliches on a platform like this.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him. But Trump doesn't present that way. You look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old. Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech. I mean, I'm sorry.
So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.